Statsproblems.com was used to create this tutorial, which can help us calculate the confidence interval of a poll. Let's begin by selecting one of the 25 example problems. The question appears in the blue box. Poll sample size, n, is 1010. Proportion of votes for one candidate, p, is 0.41. What is the 95% confidence interval for the percent of people voting for one candidate? Let's step through the solution by clicking on the Next Step button. In Step 1, we calculate the standard deviation in votes. Use the normal approximation of the binomial distribution. N is 1010, P is 0.41, Q is 1 minus P equals 1 minus 0.41 equals 0.59. The standard deviation, sigma sub x, equals the square root of n times p times q. In this example, the standard deviation equals the square root of 1010 times 0.41 times 0.59, which works out to the square root of 244.319, which works out to 15.631. In Step 2, we calculate the standard error of proportion. The standard error of proportion, sigma sub proportion, equals the standard deviation, sigma sub x, divided by n. In this example, the standard error of proportion equals 15.631 divided by 1010, which works out to 0.015. In Step 3, we find z-score for the confidence interval. For the 95% confidence interval, we use the table to find a z-score of 1.96. In Step 4, we calculate the confidence interval. The lower bound of the confidence interval is p minus the z-score times the standard error of the proportion, sigma sub proportion. The upper bound of the confidence interval is p plus the z-score times the standard error of the proportion, sigma sub proportion. In this example, the lower bound is 0.41 minus 1.96 times 0.015. The lower bound works out to 0.41 minus 0.029, which works out to 0.381. The upper bound is 0.41 plus 1.96 times 0.015. The upper bound works out to 0.41 plus 0.029, which works out to 0.439. We convert proportions to percents, and we have the 95% confidence interval for the population mean is 38.1% is less than mu is less than 43.9%. With a sample size of 1010 and a proportion voting for one candidate equals 0.41, the 95% confidence interval is 38.1% is less than mu is less than 43.9%. In addition to the 25 example problems, we can work step by step through an unlimited number of new problems using the Generate button. The Edit Data button can help us create problems with customized input. Instructors can use this function to create problems with complete solutions to use on exams, in class, or for homework. For printed output, we can print the question. Or we can print the question with the complete solution. The free website has statistical analyses in all of the most common areas in statistics. Statsproblems.com also has a mobile version so you can access the site from anywhere. For help with statistical concepts, HelpMeWithStats.com is a free website that has more than 70 tutorials, as videos, or as self-paced slideshows. In addition, HelpMeWithStats.com gives you free access to a comprehensive stats textbook with more than 685 review questions. Thanks for watching. If you find these resources valuable, please share Statsproblems.com and HelpMeWithStats.com with your friends and instructors.